Well, this is a very disturbing loss for me. We're 18 of 56, shooting 32% from the field. We have 14 turnovers, and they're not in any kind of press. They have 19 turnovers. You know, the rebounds are it's not real out of whack. They only have 6 offensive rebounds. That's one thing I asked my players not to give up was offensive rebounds. But, you know, some of the decision making on shot selection and on turnovers was really disturbing to me today. And I'm very frustrated in that we cannot seem to have. I know we've won 3 Division I games so far, and all 3 have been on the road. So I've asked my players, what's the deal? How come when we come home, we seem to be a little bit more undisciplined than we are when we're on the road? Now, don't get me wrong. We've got our butts beat. Had some places that I knew could beat us. Texas, SMU, Utah, and even Lafayette. But I'm very frustrated with the fact that when we come home, we seem to not play with the discipline that we do when we've been on the road, including a 6-point loss to Houston. So I also am frustrated that we can't get to the free throw line. And nobody is telling our players not to drive to the basket. Nobody. Matter of fact, we're encouraging it heavily. So we're at home, and the other team shoots twice as many free throws as we do. Now, some of those came at the end of the game, I know, 4, 6, something like that. But take those 6 away, they still have 5 more free throws than we do. We cannot win games where we get out-rebounded by our opponents, where they get to the free throw line more, where they shoot a better percentage than we do. Cannot win games like that. Now answer any questions.
I mean, there's a lot of positives you can take out of this game. You finally have them out of their tendency to shoot quick shots, like with 17 seconds left on the shot clock. You played them down to their pace. They averaged 80 a game and only 56. They were running a lot of the offense tonight, it seemed like.
Well, there were some things. For example, that, Reed's not here. And don't get me wrong, Reed's probably been more of a shining light lately than he hasn't been, okay? But just like I told him, I've told him explicitly, no, do not dunk the ball because you could miss it. And he dunks it. That's an example of what I'm saying is why do we come home and why do we do things like that? Just lay it up and score the sure points. Some people say, well, dunks are sure points. No, it wasn't that case. Niall throws, we have a 3-on-1, and Niall tries for the alley-oop early in the first half. And it goes, it sails out of bounds. All you got to do is drop it off. You had Gordon on one side, Joel on the other. Just drop it off. So I'm telling him, we got to quit worried about flash, and we got to worry about just plain victory. And that's immaturity. And how long will that take to get out? Well, I'm not going to tolerate it too long. I'm not going to tolerate immaturity in terms of this will look fancy in front of everybody, so therefore I'm going to try it. You saw some people playing a lot today that haven't been playing before. And I'm going to do that if I'm not going to continue to stay with players that are not performing. That includes guys like Imani Gann or Joe Wright who didn't play a lot of minutes.
But, it did seem like it's finally they figured out kind of at least the pace that you want to play at.
See, that's not necessarily correct.
No.
I'm not a 48-point game guy.
But, if you
what I want to do is fast break when the opportunities are there, just like we had that 3-on-1. But I don't want to try some fancy play. But if we don't have the fast break, let's play smart basketball and pull it out instead of going 1-on-1, which y'all have seen for quite a while here. And there is a time to go 1-on-1. It's at the end of the shot clock. And sometimes we get our players in positions where they're going to catch that ball and they can either shoot it or take it to the hole. And we're not doing it. We do not want to score 48 points a game. That's not my goal. My goal is, Most of my teams are scoring in the mid to upper 60s, maybe even low 70s if you do a 22-year average. 46 is not, 48 at home is certainly not the answer. Now, I wouldn't mind having this score against Lafayette at Lafayette, but not at home. Against Lafayette's got, you know, not to say that some of these players here on UTA are, I mean, they got an Oklahoma State transfer, they got a Texas Tech transfer, and probably their best player is number 35, Brandon Edwards. So, you know, we played a talented team that was looking disjointed or out of whack, and we let them beat us on our home court. So that frustrates me.
I think
I'm good friends with Scott Cross, and he said, you know, we're having problems right now. Mm-hmm. Now, they did something today that they normally don't do. They didn't press us at all. They've been pressing people for 35 out of 40 minutes, and they did not press us. I can't tell you why, if he's trying a different approach or if he's afraid of that we'd attack it in a way, you know, I just don't know. But, I mean, we worked against their full court 1-2-2 press quite a bit all 3 days, you know, giving 15, 17 minutes a day to work on it, and then we didn't see it at all today. But I'm telling you, if you watch the last 4 games, he's using it even against Lafayette at Lafayette. So I don't know what happened. Well, what's his thinking there?
You guys seem to get him out of the rhythm early with you know, Lonnie McClanahan. We were talking on Thursday about maybe Rigo Dow not playing, but he played tonight 23. But Lonnie, what, 10 turnovers in 28 minutes? Did you guys kind of key on him a little bit with your defensive game plan?
Well, they give him the ball so much, Tyler, that you know, he has to make these decisions. They do something called a flat screen for him out there in midcourt, and he just tries to take off, score, or kick it. And he made some bad decisions, and this is what I'm talking right back here. You know, I mean, the game was ours for the taking if we can hit shots and, you know, hit some and not turn it over. You know, I mean, just do simple basketball, fellas. The fans are here to watch us win. They're not here to watch, you know. I mean, the people here, I think, at Texas State and San Marcos want to see us win. They don't want to see a 360 dunk unless there's a victory involved. And that's what I'm trying to sell. And, you know, I mean, look at our shooting percentages. 2 for 9, 1 for 4, 2 for 8. Phil's 2 for 4. Wes is 2 for 5. Reed's 2 for 7. Ray's 1 for 6. Stern's 1 for 5. Niles 0 for 1. The only one that has a decent shooting percentage was Gordon, 5 for 7. And you know, I mean, Gordon's sitting back there, and I like some things he did offensively, but he's got to do a better job on screen on the ball. When they're going to come and set a screen on the ball for their guards, that's half their offense. We got to cover that, right? But you know, I'm not really down on our defense as much as on the other end. That's what I'm frustrated about.
What specifically did you like out of Gordon tonight offensively?
Well, you know, he shot it only 7 times, and they were all pretty good shots. I thought he took some good shots for us. You know, and I don't think he tried to force it. And you know, but I need him to get to the free throw line, Gordon. You know, I mean, really, right now, look at our big men. 0 for 0 from the free throw line. Joel's 2 for 2. Corey's 0 for 0. Gordon's 0 for 0. So and I guess Caven played some. Well, Caven 0 for 0. You would think Biggs would get to the free throw line if you throw it inside. And what are we, 2 for 2? We all got 2 free throws. You know, so I don't know. I think other than maybe the non-Division I games, I don't know if we've. I'd have to look, but I'm not sure how many times we've gotten to the free throw line more than our opponents. That is not by design, gentlemen. That is not by design. We got to go in there and not be afraid to take the hit. Go up strong, shot fake, so to speak. They go for it, try to block our shot. We take the hit and get to the free throw line. Maybe and 1, if not, at least 2 free throws. But pace-wise, you know, I guess you could say, yes, they were the leading, or were they the leading scoring team in the league?
Second.
Second?
First?
Second. Georgia State's up there.
Anyway, so yes, we control tempo of the game, and our defense, I thought, was respectable because they're shooting 16 for 41. You know, I'm a little bit perturbed, but I guess I can even live with 36-30 because look how many shots we missed. So they're going to have more defensive rebound opportunities. And we have more offensive rebounds than they do, and that I'm pleased with. So I'm looking at the offensive side of the ball. We got to do a better job. We cannot make some of these silly turnovers. We cannot take. We got to hit some shots. I guess I don't know. We got to execute and hit some shots.
It's kind of different for you being such a defensive coach, trying to focus on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, let me tell you this way. Maybe I am more defensive than the others, but as the season wore on, I really put in my defense early, and try to work on offense. I try to establish a strong defensive presence in the summer and in the fall, and as we get closer to the season, you're working more on offense. But we're not executing. I mean, we scored 50, whatever it was, 4 against Lafayette, and I want to say we were close to shooting as many shots as they were. So we got to, I don't know. Maybe we're not a very good shooting team, and I've got to accept that. But we're still not going to quit working on this. So this is a team that I think is more talented than their record, but this is a team we can beat. At home, we can beat them. So I'm frustrated.